agenda of the day, and it's going to be an interesting one. We'll start off with body dysmorphia in society. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't actually know what it meant. Kamala had to explain it, and I actually still don't know. So, I don't know if I get it. Because I thought it was like, oh, society says you should be this, therefore I should be that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So come out, please. You start. Explain what it is.
I mean, we'll just go with like a standard like Google definition. So according to NHS website, it's a mental health condition where a person spends a lot of time worrying about flaws in their appearance. Those flaws are often unnoticeable to other people. So that's like a basic definition.
So
of
they
it.
feel like they
So
like
think
they
of it
have
as
flaws, but other people cannot see those flaws.
so think of it as let's say I'm like skinny, right? Like I'm very skinny.
Mhm.
But for years I've always thought I was bigger than I was. So even though other people may see me as skinny, in my mind I'm still a lot bigger. It's that kind of thing where you have like a distorted image of how you actually look. Yeah, that's like the easiest way to explain it. Yeah. So
But must it always be distorted? Can you be aware that like your body is a different type of way?
So it's not necessarily about what your body is or isn't. It's more so that the reality of what you look like to other people and the reality of how you see yourself is completely different. So I wish you guys actually Google this shit.
Yeah, do you know, like, I get what you're saying. I just thought it was really more like the whole feeling uncomfortable in your own body kind of thing. I thought that's what
That's part
that's
of
what
it. Yes, it's part of it, yeah.
Okay,
But it's not totally just that. I don't know if Olive has like a better way of explaining it to you guys.
Olive, what do you think?
Well, I was going to say you actually had a really, really good definition. I think like that distorted idea of how you are versus what you actually are. And, you know, sometimes it's not necessarily that like it's not true at all, but it's definitely blown way over proportion. You know, I think it's like a matter of perspective, right? So like the skinny person who like has always felt like they were fat, like, you know, many times it comes from what people tell you, and then you start to internalize that, and then people are never able to kind of like break away from that original like label, even though it's not necessarily true.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know
You
if
feel
that's
like
better for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, do you feel like a lot of people suffer from like body dysmorphia in this day and age?
100%.
Really?
It's a lot more common than you think.
Huh. But like, how so though? Is it more on the side of like slim people feeling like they're fat, or like vice versa? Like, what is it?
I think this is actually really good because I have different perspectives on this, right? I'll start with the bodybuilding perspective. Like, it's very, very common amongst bodybuilders to have body dysmorphia. And I think part of it is due to the fact that we go through a process where we see our physique at extremes. So like when you're getting ready for a competition, you get like super duper lean and shredded, and you can see like every muscle and vein in your body, right? And that gets you a lot of attention, you know. But then when people start to put weight back on, because it's not healthy to be lean like that all year round, and then they start to feel like they're fat. Yeah. So like there's like a, you know, when you're getting ready for stage, and then there's like an off season or maintenance look. So like you do have to reverse and like your diet and like start eating more again, because just staying that low for so long is gonna like mess up your hormones, etc. Right? So people like, you know, legitimately like you can see someone who's super shredded, and then you can see them looking like a regular person who works out, right? Like they have like abs on the beach, but they're not like deeply cut, and that person feels like they're fat.
Okay.
Yeah. And
it's
that's
a
like
very
in
weird
terms of
thing.
Yeah, I mean, because objectively, I mean, well, I guess it's in comparison, because if they were just like extra shredded, and then now I guess like she said it's off season. I guess like I see it. Also, quick question by the way, when you say off season, what do you guys do like on stage? Is it like, because I think Kamal tried to explain yesterday, but it's not weightlifting, isn't it? You don't. It's just like
no. So that would be powerlifting, where they like actually lift at the competitions.
So how do you like
bodybuilding? bodybuilding is just really about showing off a physique, right? So you're on
Okay.
stage posing. So you're pretty much just like flexing while you're being compared to other people on stage. And then you do like a routine to kind of show off your physique. And yeah, that's what a show day is like. So you're pretty much gonna be like starved going into it, you know, like not that much energy, probably dehydrated. So it doesn't actually feel great to look that good, to be honest.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, I see people in my gym practicing the poses and stuff. Like the shit it's actually like mad stressful because you need to hold a position for like a
Yeah.
certain number, like let's say 10, 15 seconds, however long it is. And you see them like flexing as hard as they can. And they're like, hold it, hold it, hold it. And bro, I'm just there watching like, what the actual fuck is this? I could never like see, no offense to you guys, but I could never do that shit.
No,
One,
I mean,
I don't have the discipline to do it, but like two, it's just crazy stressful. Like maintaining a diet for so long and then doing the show, and then after it's like, okay, you have to get back to your normal diet and workout program and everything. It's just such a stressful routine to do all year round. I'm just like, man, like I salute you guys, but I could never do it.
it's a lot. I ain't even gonna cap. It's a lot. That's for me personally. I do 1 year on, 1 year off, just because like
Right.
I want to. Yeah, like this year I'm not competing at all. I just want to like be in the gym and lift because I enjoy doing it and have energy and like be able to go out with friends and have drinks and stuff like that. You know, like
So what was the motivation for you
That was
to
my next
start?
question. Is like what like
Yeah.
why the stress? Like what's pushing you? like why?
I think the unique thing about bodybuilding that a lot of people find, and for me personally as well, is like once you get started and you commit to a process, you like find out so much about yourself, and then you kind of get obsessed with improving. That's kind of
Yeah.
like because yeah, being on prep gives you to like, kind of always sets you on like a different level, and you can't always be going at 1,000%, but it's like just that practice of like, okay, I can actually have discipline and see something through all the way to the end, and
Yeah.
like win at the end. Now I win money too, so win and then win a trophy and win money.
That's good
Yeah.
motivation.
How do you view yourself now?
I view myself as like bigger than I was then, but I'm still small. And
Small,
that's the
okay,
other side
small,
of bodybuilding.
small in the
A
sense
body
of like you
dysmorphia.
don't have a lot of fat, or small in the sense that you're actually small, like muscle wise as well.
Or
Like
weight-wise?
muscle wise.
Yeah. Okay.
See, well, I guess that's why it's body dysmorphia. Because me personally, I mean, not for nothing, we seen your Instagram page. I would not agree. You know what I'm saying? So like, I guess that's the whole body dysmorphia thing, isn't it?
Yo, these guys were amazed. Like they kept on looking like, yo, is she like, yo, this girl is buff. I'm like, yeah, like yeah, she's been doing this for a while. Like she's gonna have muscle and shit. It was so amazing.
That's funny.
But
Oh my goodness. I didn't know you guys had seen that.
yeah, I mean your professional page, the All of the Games page. Yeah, follow on Instagram at all of the Games. So yeah, I showed them that. And Skills was even asking about your diet and stuff, and I was like, yeah, like because I remember a while ago you used to post your cooking on, was it Snapchat? It might have been
Yeah,
Snapchat.
Snap.
Yeah, she used to post it, and Skills went through looking for like workout programs and shit.
Yeah, no, I'm actually about to die,
Yeah, but like just to get back on the topic, I guess everyone has a different experience. I guess at least people affected by it. So for me, mine started since I was like let's say 6, 7 maybe. So I cook back home. He used to call me Orobo, which for people that don't know is like fat and like a derogatory way, right? So and like when I look back at how I looked even then, I'm like I wasn't that big. But she used to call me that ever since then. And then it gradually progresses. So when you go to uncle houses, aunties' houses, you know how Nigerian aunties are. Even like they just have to comment about your weight in one way or the other. Like they just have to say something. So it went from cook at home, family, and then school. Because even in school, I remember like one time, this guy is 1 year ahead of us. They like told me to remove my shirt just so they could like make fun of me and shit. Like shit like that gets to you, you know. So then, even when I got to uni, and I eventually lost the weight. Skills, I can hear you laughing still. So, like even when I eventually lost most of the weight, because once in one summer I lost 14 kg, and then I lost another 6 like some months after. So I lost a shit ton of weight like quickly. Not always the healthiest way, but again, when your mind is warped in a certain way, you're not always.
So what was your weight? What was your weight when you were in uni?
I was 86 kg at the time.
86.
What's that in pounds? That's
Yeah.
like
That's like
189 pounds. Jesus.
Bro,
something like that.
86.
Yeah. You guys saying like I was 110 kg, man. Like,
I mean, it could be worse.
Wait, come out. Did you say that was when you were in high school?
no, in uni.
That was in uni.
Oh, uni, bro.
Wait, come
Yeah.
on. How tall are you?
How old am I now?
How tall are you?
I'm like 5'9".
Yeah, I mean that's not that crazy.
Yeah, it's not that crazy. Like, it actually isn't that crazy. But yeah, but it's just.
Bro. Sorry, go on.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to do this topic. Anyway, so yeah, so from there, even when I dropped the weight and I was back at like 71, 72-ish, like bro, even I could not actually view myself as skinny or small or anything in that regard, even though all the people around me like, nah, this guy actually like quite small. And I'm like, nah. Because when I look in the mirror, it did not look small to me, because the image I always had of myself from years ago, to me, that's still how I looked, even when I was 70 something kg. And even if I dropped lower than that, I would still have that image of myself. So it did not really matter what my actual weight was. Like in my head, I would always look a certain way. And it's still that way till now. Like my relationship with food is terrible. Like it's so bad. Like I weigh everything, I count all the calories, I input everything on an app. Like, and my brother is the same. Like my elder brother, he's years older than me, but he had the same issue. So I can't even go out and enjoy food because I'm always thinking, what are the effects of this this meal I'm about to have, like shit like that. And like Olive said, it's a lot more common than you actually think, because I have a lot of friends, mostly women though. A lot of guys don't have this issue as much, but mostly women that I know, they tend to obsess over like being skinny, like very skinny. And depending on what culture you're from, it's emphasized. I know in Asian culture it's that way. Both Chinese like and East Asian culture, or rather like Pakistani Indians, there's a big emphasis on being skinny. So for a lot of people that have suffered that for a long time, it's just hard to get out of it. Yeah, so that's my personal experience. But others, so like you and Rose, for example, you guys never really suffered from this ever.
You don't know that? You don't know that?
Okay,
you don't even know what
share
it
your
was.
perspective. I mean, maybe they didn't know what it was, but now that we've explained, they have like something similar. Yay!
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Wait, Rose, what are you saying for?
I mean, bro, I feel shocked, because like I always used to think that, like, to a point, like that was mostly when I was like back in secondary school, that I was skinny and everything. I know, but like then the mirror wasn't correlating with my statements. So I had some tummy there. And I think over the years it's even gotten worse. So like when Kamal even said checking the calories thing, I'm like, damn, bro. Oh, you serious? Bring me some more of them burgers, man. Let's down.
Yo,
Like, and you know the funny thing is that like each time I try to be fit, God,
stress.
there's always not even the stress, yeah. It's just that lack of that consistency or that motivation. Because by the time you get back home, man, enter the kitchen, turn about with soup with plenty of obstacles, guy. That's the end now. Like that's the end. So I'm like, God, I know I eat. Let me even give you guys a story. So in secondary school, I used to eat, man. God damn.
You did. You
Bro.
actually did. Because you know when you were in secondary school, I came to my house and then give you bread and egg with 3 slices in it. I was this other eye. So I guess this nigga be eating, bro.
Now that's facts, because guy in secondary school, and guy they used to feed us bread and rice. In a week, we'd eat bread 6 times, we'd eat rice 6 times.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
And like, guy I used to consume 1 loaf of bread Friday morning like this.
One loaf,
Okay.
like one family loaf.
Guy, 1 family loaf, 24 slices, 1 sitting. Just set the mayonnaise, set the sardine, set the tea, 1 sitting, guy.
Jeez.
And
Mayonnaise.
yeah,
Bro.
that same
That's
day, they still give us
disgusting.
bread in the afternoon, and we eat it with beans. Yeah, bro. See, my my secondary school, they didn't do us any good. And guy, one day like this, we did some Grammys like this, all these mini Grammys now, just for jokes and everything. Guy, they gave me the biggest manga. Guy, she pained me. I mean, there were guys that ate more than me. I know, but I guess because I was an easy target. But to be fair, like I did used to eat a lot. I mean, like a whole lot.
Did you feel
And
self-conscious about how much you ate?
yeah, but I was like, just 3 poundo yam, just 3. Give me 2 more, Jerry. Rubbish.
Raw.
I mean, like I knew I was conscious. I was pretty much aware that like I was eating all this food, and I knew the side effects. But I'm like, damn, bro, would I rather have a nice body, or cancel this plate of rice with 6 beef. To be fair, I think back then I would have felt that like I made the right decisions, but now I don't so much feel that way. I mean, I reduced like the quantity of food which I eat, although like to be fair, that's actually debatable because there's still some things, sha, but like in general, I feel like I've actually reduced, and over the time I noticed that like the kinds of food that I ate, which is actually like this particular period in my life, I feel like I'm drawing closer to what Kamal said, being careful about the kind of stuff you eat. Well, I don't really check the calories, but like I'm more concerned about what I actually put in my body because I've fallen sick a couple of times, and it's primarily due to like the stuff that I've been eating. So I mean, there are some days that like you just feel so hungry, but like the side effects of eating certain things. Like even that bread self, like I'm trying to like transition from white bread to eating like wholemeal and wheat bread.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard
Gross.
because bro, guy, excuse Kamal, ground square bread now. I thought you just grab like 3, put it together, I mean, it is finished.
This guy, bro. Like, it's actually not. I didn't like brown bread before either, but when I started eating, honestly, you get used to it. Like, it's fine.
You
Some
really
ancestral
do.
bread you eat now.
I mean, like, yesterday, I ate 5. Today I
Okay.
ate 3. So like over time, like I've actually reduced the quantity. You won't see me eating anything more than in one sitting. You won't see me eating these days. If that 5 that I ate yesterday was because maybe I was quite hungry, but these days I won't eat anything more than 2 or 3.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, you're getting better, I guess.
Yeah, but that also depends on the meal that I eating.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I mean like if you're eating like if you're eating bread with like beans, obviously you won't take a lot of bread. But like if you're eating with something lighter, I mean, let's say if I'm eating bread with beans, maybe like 2 slices, but like maybe with something like peanut butter or Nutella, although I don't even take Nutella anymore, you can maybe increase to like 3, 4, because the spread is lighter.
your analogy makes perfect sense, and I think like that's part of the issue is like, eating a lot of carbs without eating substantial protein with it. So like you wouldn't get full off of like, a few slices of bread because your body is like, okay, cool, but like it's not gonna hold you. And I mean the fat will eventually, but like pairing it with beans or sardine. It's like a better option, I guess, or eggs.
I was gonna say the same thing, so I don't even have to say it anymore.
That's funny. I was gonna say that I think. Oh, I like Ro. Like, did anyone I guess other than the like the Munger thing, like I feel like, but for a lot of people, body dysmorphia. I mean, like for me, like it's shown up in different ways over the years, right? But I think like similar to what Kamal kind of said, it has a lot to do with the things that you heard as a child. So like, did you get like, teased in other ways?
That's actually the funny thing. Like, first of all, that manga thing, I was just targeted because first of all, it was babes that did it, and they weren't going to hit on the main guys in our set. So like, just said easy targets, and so like that's why I was an easy target and everything. But in general, like that's the thing, I'm not fat. I'm actually not fat at all. Like I'm just I kind of have a little bit of tummy, but like I'm not fat. So I didn't really have that. Maybe apart from like few times when my parents just complained that, oh, you're eating too much, look at your tummy, all of those things. But in general, I didn't experience that thing where people come and be saying, oh, this guy are so fat, or
criticize you for your image.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't experience that.
That makes sense. I mean, that would explain like, I mean, I guess so far the theory checks out, like, because I think like similar to what Kamal said, like when I was younger, like getting to, because I like food too. I love to eat, and it was like, yo, be careful, blah blah blah. Look at your cheeks already, because I had chubby ass cheeks. Look at your cheeks already. You have the potential to get fat, blah blah blah. Like, see your tummy, and like that was one thing. But at the same time, I was also like short and skinny, so like I got like small, but like from I guess like, and I mean I think my poor mom, but yeah, like she'd be like, yo, be careful, something's up, and then all my aunties be pulling my cheeks and stuff. So I started to feel like, oh yeah, like maybe I used to feel fat, man, like, and then I look at the pictures now and I'm like, really? I was a literal twig.
And then you felt fat back in secondary school.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's actually crazy.
And then like at some point, what's it called? So like, yeah, I was tiny, right? So it was like people used to ask me why I didn't have ass like my sister, and that thing like
oh my god.
Bro. It was like, no ass, no boobs. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm just like small. And then one person one time was like, oh, you kind of look like you have abs. And I like embodied, I was like, oh, there's something redeeming about my physique. Like, I think like that has even part to do with like embracing fitness more while I was in school. Cause I used to like do YouTube videos. Like I had my Kindle. Like people started working out with me like in high school. Yeah, and then that's like one aspect. Another thing was like having big lips. Like when I was younger, like girl. Yeah, no, I mean now I'm like, that's so ridiculous. Like thank God for what I have, but at the time, like just comparisons, things that you hear and you just subconsciously like agree with them without realizing it, and especially when it's like repeated over and over, like the Oroba thing, like that was like one thing. I think a whole section of Black people can also relate to like feeling bad about being darker skinned at certain points in time.